be a brand. Don't be afraid to hop on camera. It's just a conversation, really. They say pictures speak 1,000 words, but video lasts forever.
Hey, welcome to this episode of the Real Producers Partners Podcast. I'm your host, David Owen, Changescape Web. In each episode, we speak with a Real Producers partner to learn more about them and their business. Today, I'm joined by Cory Slade, owner of Slade Media Company, located in the Milwaukee area. In prepping for this podcast, I had the opportunity to view online a portion of Cory's work. I'm excited to learn more about what Slade Media does and the value they bring to the marketplace. Welcome, Cory.
Hey, David. Glad to have me on. How you doing?
Doing good. So tell me, how'd you get in the media business?
Honestly, I stopped watching TV. I just watched YouTube for about 3 months straight. And then I kind of decided on what camera I wanted based off of a lot of different YouTubers that I was watching. Okay. I really bought the camera just to go on vacation. Took a couple of videos, took a couple of pictures. And then eventually people started asking me to come to events or do a wedding or, just do some headshots and stuff like that. And that's kind of how things came about. Just friends and family asking for photos.
So you kind of just, in other words, you kind of backed into the business.
Pretty much, yeah. It was kind of a hobby that turned into a media company that I didn't see coming, and I'm just very happy from being able to actually start.
How long have you been doing this?
It's going on 4 years now.
Oh wow! So you got some experience and some stories you can tell.
Most definitely. A lot of trial and error. But then there's a lot of good stories as well.
Sure. So what's the process you use when someone calls you and says, hey, I'd like you to shoot this property or do a headshot or something like that? What's the process you go through when to make that happen?
So pretty much I like to get on the phone or a Zoom call or Google Meet call, whatever, just kind of talk to the client, see exactly what they're looking for. Slade Media Co., I'm all about making their vision come true. So I try to get as much detail as possible out of what it is that they're looking for in the project. And then I try to bring that to life for them, whether it's photos or whether it's a video, pretty much just bringing their vision to life and, making the client happy. That's what it's all about.
Well, as we were talking, I spent a little time in the Milwaukee area, and there's some cool buildings.
For sure. The architecture out here is definitely amazing all through downtown.
Yeah, it is. It reminds me I'm in St. Louis. It reminds me a lot of St. Louis with the buildings and the old style. The Union Station in St. Louis is a great place, and there's plenty of buildings like that in Milwaukee.
I had an opportunity to go down to St. Louis when I was younger. I was in high school. I was in a program called Marquette Upward Bound. They kind of took us to different states and we got to visit different colleges. So that was one experience that I had in St. Louis that I ultimately loved. We were able to get on a boat and we, rolled past the arch. That was super cool. But to your point, yes, the buildings down in St. Louis are very beautiful as well.
So if you have a building that isn't so cool, how do you make it look cool?
Editing.
Editing?
Try to clean it up. I mean, not every property is going to be a luxury $1 million property. You're going to shoot some properties that, are a little under the value. But then you just clean it up and make it look as beautiful as possible. To my point, I always try not to overdo it. You want it to still be as real as possible. But I mean, if there's debris or anything that's on the ground and you want to clean up the grass a little bit, if there's like a patch or something, I feel like that's, not overselling it, but it's, still making the property look good and, what you could actually do with the property.
You're optimizing what's there.
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah. So you said some of this is trial and error and you just kind of backed into it. What's your background for doing this beyond that? Did you get any formal training or
no? Okay. Well,
use YouTube?
Yeah. So pretty much YouTube. I kind of just, like I said, I stopped watching TV. I just started watching YouTube videos and I just learned. So I learned how to use the first camera that I ever had, which was a Sony A7 III. Great beginner camera for anybody. And from there, like I said, it was just trial and error, just going out and just trying new things. The biggest thing that I would say to start learning first, if you are going to get into videography or photography, lighting. Yeah. Lighting is very, very important, no matter what setting you're in, whether you're using natural light or if you're going to be using some type of softbox or flash photography. Lighting is going to be key, and it can make anything beautiful.
Yeah. Well, or it can make it look bad, right?
That too, if it's overexposed. Yep, that is true as well.
So do you work with realtors that focus on the high-end homes, or do you work with all?
I work with all realtors. It doesn't really matter to me whether it's, $125,000 home, $60,000 home, up to $1 million of homes. I've pretty much shot almost a wide range of things. I think the highest home that I shot was about $1.5 million.
Well, if someone wants to get a hold of you, I should have asked you earlier about this. What's the best way for them to reach you?
Website, email, phone, or Instagram. I get a lot of business through Instagram. A lot of realtors contact me there, and we just go from there. I offer different type of packages. I'm also a certified drone pilot, so I do offer drone packages as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Whether it's pictures or video. My thing with realtors, I really want them to be on camera. I want them to sell themselves as they're selling the home as well. Because realtors are a brand, whether they think of it or not. They are a brand themselves. And, we want people to be aware of their brand because this is their career. This is what they do. And I want my realtors to be seen as experts in the field that they're in the state and city that they're in.
Sure. Well, part of this is in the marketing aspect, it's being known in the market.
Correct.
You'll never get called unless you're known in the market.
Correct.
And one of the best ways is if they see your face, they see what you do, they'll think of you when they need you.
Yep.
Look, I've got a few questions here. Talk about challenges that you've run into. Milwaukee isn't the best weather all the time. And you get gloomy days, and it's hard to make them look good. So
that's true.
How do you deal with that?
Sometimes I have to do second day shoots. If the weather's bad and I can't get the drone up in the air to do a video or do a photo, sometimes I do have to come back. No charge to the client, obviously. Just inclement weather here in the Midwest is going to happen. Okay. You just got to adapt and adjust to what's given to you at that point. Other things that are challenges, I would say some depending on what time of day I'm shooting, whether the client wants like a twilight shot or if they, just want during the day shoots. I try to make all my shoots between about 9 and 12 o'clock. Usually, that's when I can get some of the best lighting. And then if I have to shoot in the afternoon, usually between like 2 and 5.
Okay. So you do more than just real estate, I take it.
Correct. I also work with a lot of small businesses. I like to do video for them. Just kind of get their brand, like I said, get the brand awareness out there, let people know who they are and what it is that they actually do.
If a small company doesn't know what they want to have done in detail, but they conceptually know, they just get a hold of you and you just talk through it and the way to approach it. Should it be video? Should it be headshots? What should it be?
Yeah, so I do like some consulting with them. Like I said, I like to sit down. I like to have meetings and kind of just go through a game plan before we do anything. I think that's the most important thing. Write down all the details, get as much information as you can from the client, and then just move on with that. I usually try to give some examples of previous businesses that I worked for and send them those. I've worked for countless different companies. To name a few, Savad, it's a salon that I've shot for, Milwaukee College Prep. I've done some work for Milwaukee Public Schools as well. Safe and Sound is an organization here that I've shot as well. So it's different things. Like I said, different clients are going to want different approaches, and it's kind of just figuring out exactly what it is that they want and then bring that to life. So for them, I always tell them to give me suggestions if they see a video or if they see a clip of something that they really like and they want that orchestrated into their video, then send it over.
Okay. So when you render the photo or render the video, is there considerations for the different types of scenarios like magazines versus online that you have taken into consideration?
Yes, most definitely. Yes, most definitely. Obviously, all my work, I want to be as professional as possible. So I kind of take it with that approach, whether it's going to, just be used on Facebook or Instagram, or if it's, for a magazine, I'm still going to give the highest quality product that I can offer.
So if you're doing a headshot for a professional, is it just a headshot? Is it a full body kind of shot? How do you handle that?
So with real producers, what I tend to do is I give the client about an hour and a half of my time, 1 to 2 locations, and then we just go shoot. I kind of like to meet with them a little bit before. That way they can get a feel for who I am. I'm a fun, nice guy. And I just want it to be a fun experience. I know a lot of people are camera shy or they, don't like taking pictures, but I want this experience to be, very nice, very calming, and, something that overall that you'll be happy with. Typically, I'm what you would call an overshooter. I like to shoot a lot of photos. That way you have different options that you can choose from. And whether it's a headshot, whether it's just from the waist up, or full body, I try to give the client a lot of different poses. That way that they can have a lot of different things to choose from for the magazine or, for their own personal collection as well.
All right. So what's the most challenging engagement you've ever had?
The most challenging engagement I ever had.
Who's the toughest person or toughest property to work with?
I would say,
and this isn't a stump Cory question.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to learn, how do you handle situations that are not easy?
I would say I struggle with posing. Sometimes when I first started, and people who are camera shy, it was a bit of a challenge at first. So I would definitely say there were some clients that I had where they just weren't very coordinated, so it was very hard. So sometimes I would have to show them how to pose and things like that. But for the most part, I would say that was a struggle with a few. But now I think I'm way past that. And I think that everything now I come there with an idea and they already have ideas usually. So now it's not even an issue. And then as far as challenging for property, there's a couple of properties that I've shot that were, slumlordish, just, overall, just not, good properties that people were trying to get rid of, or even the city was trying to get rid of. So there's some pictures out there that I have that are just god awful. But at the end of the day, it's still a property. Like I said, it's what you do with those pictures to an investor that may see, quality in that property that can bring that property back to life. So, like I said, I've shot $60,000 homes. I've shot $1 million homes. It's what you do with it. It's what you make of it, honestly.
Yeah. And I'm sure each of them have their own unique challenges.
Yeah, most definitely. With the $1 million home, you got a huge square footage that you got to cover. So there's a lot more photos. There's a lot more time that goes into that versus, shooting a condo or something like that. That's a little bit smaller. That might take you only 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well, you guys have a unique view. You could use lake. If you're, I'm thinking specifically if you have doing a headshot or a body shot, you can go out by the lake and use the lake as a background.
Correct.
You ever do early morning kind of stuff where you get sunrise and all that?
I have in the past, not so much now, but when I first started out, I definitely would go down. The art museum is my favorite place to go shoot at. I just love that building. That's one of my favorite places. I actually just did a wedding a week ago, and that was the first place that I took them to for a location to shoot at. I would definitely say I love flying my drone around that area, like the Discovery World / art museum area, just downtown. Right. I just love being in that area. And like you said, you can't go wrong with the lake shot at all.
Yeah. Yeah. So what else would you like to share with the listeners?
Be a brand. Don't be afraid to hop on camera. It's just a conversation, really, that you're having with your listeners, potential clients. So that's my approach. I really like to get a lot of my clients on camera speaking, showing off the property themselves. And then, just basically building their brand, building their awareness, and letting people know who they are and what it is that they do. Because at the end of the day, they say pictures speak 1,000 words, but, video lasts forever.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. So again, how do people effectively get a hold of you?
SladeMedia.co or .com, sorry, is one of the ways. Like I said, you can reach me through email, or you can reach me through my phone number. Those are pretty much the ways to get a hold of me. Or my Instagram is shots_by_Slade. So if you guys are looking for any type of video work or any photography work, I'm your guy.
Oh, that sounds good. Well, listen, I really appreciate you joining us and describing what you do. I've learned a lot just doing podcasts. You realize how the light has to be right.
Yeah, most definitely.
Because sometimes I'm probably a little washed out today. You
look great. You look great, David.
All right. So do you. So thanks again. Enjoyed the conversation, and hopefully you'll get some folks reaching out to you.
Appreciate it. Have a good one, David.
All
Thanks
right.
for having me.
Bye.